Hello everybody. Welcome to this week's Dungeons & Dragons one-shot. We're doing another one-shot this week. I hope everybody's having a great time. It is Monday. For those of us that are in America, it's technically a holiday, but that also means that we're off from work and stuff. Well, some of us would have kind of had our own schedules anyway, but that's besides the point. But Joe is here to join us because of that.
Because of no work. Yay! Yay for Labor Day.
Yes.
Recognizing that we work hard all the rest of the year, so give us a holiday.
Indeed. Anyway, so today we have yet another one-shot. The same crew that we had last week, Sans Ali. Ali could not join us this week, but Barter will be here in spirit to be doing something tieflingy in the background while the rest of the crew discovers what's going on at the Waveless Refuge. So when we last left off, our intrepid group of heroes had stopped the evil cult from kidnapping children and making them into zombies. And they totally murdered one of their members and blamed a dwarf that was friends with the mayor. So, hey, we solved the problem. Saved the day. So now the group of heroes spent some of their hard-earned money and got on board a ship that they got some free passage through the mayor. The Deep Water. So now the Deep Water has set sail on a journey basically up the coast to the next large city. So, our heroes are on board. Now, they have already met the first mate, Ender, sorry, excuse me, something in my throat, Kuvaldi. She is a nice lady, a little strict, and so far you've been hanging out with the rest of the crew. The other members of the crew that there's a bunch of sailors, the captain, Captain Cloudbrow keeps to himself. You've met the cook Hans. Hans is a very nice fellow. A little grimy for your tastes, but his food is good. There seems to be a number of other passengers, 4 other passengers that are on board. There's Megrel Meg, this kind of younger man who dresses in very nice finery. Bierder Jadi, this older gentleman who is wearing flamboyant explorer's outfit is basically what it looks like. Hoga Skulldust, this large lady with all kinds of scars that never seems to leave her battle axe behind and doesn't speak a lot. And Helena, a small halfling that seems to converse here and there, is pretty friendly. Doesn't say a lot about herself, but, is generally friendly with you. So it has been a couple of days' journey, and most of the time you've been, of course, hanging out with the crew in the crew or the rest of the passengers in what would be best called the mess area, because it's that or lie in your bunks or hang around on deck.
Maybe the tiefling's getting seasick.
Yeah, Barter's probably getting seasick and is like, holed up in the bunk. Which is just, hammocks. This isn't a fancy vessel.
Which probably doesn't help the seasickness.
Not at all. So Megrel has been kind of like going around to each of you and has been basically trying to convince you to invest in his trading company. So, gentlemen, I'm sure you all are interested in the economics of our good kingdoms and lands here. And a person such as myself could, of course, help you to expand your horizons and the money you have. The right investment can mean a lot. Ships of my own are some of my goals. Currently, I am using ships such as this one to transport various goods from one location to another. But there are plenty of other locations which could use my expanded business. And of course, we want to establish a true base of operations. And perhaps you can come in on the ground floor and help us build ourselves up to that level.
Does it involve hitting anything?
Generally speaking, no. But perhaps if we went to one of the more savage lands, you could clear the way for our ships and clear out some of the riffraff that might interfere with us.
Can I see if he's trying to scam us?
Sure.
Because I don't trust these people.
Insight.
I will do the same.
Yeah, I will follow in suit.
I mean,
Oh gosh. And it begins.
yes. Wolfburn, he seems like he'd be the most awesome thing to invest in. Crawl and Karn, you get the feeling that...
Did I roll Great Axe somehow?
No, you rolled Insight. It says
Oh.
Insight.
I'm looking. Yeah, I'm looking way back. That's why.
You guys get
was
the
like,
feeling that he probably is to a degree genuine about, you know, wanting to make money with you guys, but you don't feel like a level of confidence in his words. So it's more like, you know, he's trying, but, you know, he's probably not considering his success.
How many trade routes do you have currently?
Well, just this one at the moment. It's the only one that I've been able to secure, and of course I've been escorting my goods along the way to ensure the safety of it down in the bilge. It'll be a great profit, and perhaps after this one, as long as the deal goes through once we get to our port of call, we can, of course, expand the number of trade routes. I'm hoping to add a second or a third, even, with this deal being complete.
So this is your first one.
No. I've had other trade routes, but currently I only have one going at a time, with how things have been.
Well,
Security is
if...
expensive, and you're possibly security.
Well,
What
it
did you mean?
seems...
Go ahead.
It seems a problem like that can be... Well, it seems like you are in need of a little bit of a startup then.
Oh, yes! Capital would help. You yourself, such interesting gentlemen, might be busy with other things and not be able to escort our goods everywhere. I could perhaps hire on a few mercenaries for each trip with a little bit of investment and ensure that I don't have to travel everywhere and I could continue to grow the business without my personal touch in the transport of our goods.
No.
I take out and kind of... Oh, I have no idea. Okay, go away. I'm sorry. Something popped up on my screen. I take my coin purse and just kind of pour out a little bit and count out 100 gold and give it to him.
As you're counting, I just raise my wing in front of your face.
Like, what? It seems
What did you
reasonable.
mean with things have been going?
What kind of goods do you transport?
You
Well,
said that with how things have been going, that you've only been able to keep one running.
Well, unfortunately, this region is occasionally known for pirates, and it's been a little more expensive traveling, getting a trade route going between the two cities than I was initially believed it would be with the current level. Not that every ship is attacked; it's just the overall threat of them was a danger to it. So I've been trying to keep things simple enough that I can ensure the safety of it.
You seem to be losing your confidence as we ask.
Well,
This does not bode well for us.
well, again, capital would help to raise things up greatly. It's been a difficult time getting things established in this region, and I've been hoping to get things established a lot quicker. Unfortunately, things have been delayed, and it has been cost more funding of my own private amount. But with a couple of investors such as yourself, perhaps we can turn things around.
Again, what are you trading?
Oh, sorry. I have furs with me currently.
Well, we know of an industry that was booming that no longer is. Have you heard of pomegranates?
No, I have not. What are these? Where would I find them? How would I crave them?
Do I still have one? I might still have one.
You might still have
I
one.
left with a bunch of them. I mean, we did knock everyone out. So we're probably gonna just was like, well,
We're just like,
Yep. So I'll just pull one out of my bag.
fascinating.
you eat the seeds.
The seeds?
Yes.
He's gonna fiddle with it a while until he figures out he has to actually like, cut it open. He'll like try to like pull it apart. Is this no? Okay, more like an apple. Cut it apart. He's like looking at them and he's like trying to. Oh.
I sit one down on the table, pull out my hand axe, and go.
Oh, okay.
And open it.
Yes. The table is nicely stained, as if blood had been there.
As I
Meanwhile,
daintily
my
do
character
that
starts
now.
writing out a contract.
Yes. He's totally up for you signing a contract of some kind. You can
I
finish.
rolled a 4. I'm donating to this guy.
Okay, you'll figure out what you're donating to him as things are going on. But a little while longer, one of the crew members will come up and start talking to Hans. He seems a little concerned. Like, you can tell on his face that something weird is going on. Hans will then quickly leave after him, and the two of them will leave the kitchen area. Hans will basically yell at someone that's, like, was eating nearby to, like, watch the food and make sure it doesn't burn. And so the guy, like, drops, like, his spoon into, like, whatever, like, kind of fish stew he was eating, and quickly, like, kind of, like, hurries up and is like, I don't know what I'm doing. But he's, like, watching things and, like, sniffing, like, is it burning?
I'm totally going to leave 100 gold on the table.
You're just gonna leave it on the table?
Here, while you work on the contract, I'm going to go up to deck and see what's going on.
I will follow the big man.
Okay. There doesn't seem to be anything particular going on up on deck at the moment. You can see the captain is in his quarters. The first mate does sleep with the rest of the crew, and it's one big communal bunk room where there's like a sheet separating out where the guests sleep. So, I mean, it's not really that private anyway.
Yes.
So, and all the guests are pretty much sleeping in the same area anyway. So, the first mate's up there. You kind of sleep with him. You see him very often. He's there. He's working with the men. The ship seems to be going fine. You don't see any sign of Hans or the other sailor right now.
Did they seem to be heading up to deck, or did they seem to be going somewhere else?
They went somewhere else. It's hard to tell because there's like a main corridor, and then you have like the cooking room. You have a room where all the supplies for food and stuff is usually kept. Most of like the stuff that's going to be worked on. You have the supplies down below where there's probably more food and other supplies. You have the crew quarters, and then you have like a forward area where there's like weapons in case people have to pull up like swords and bows to fight. Because there isn't like any siege weapons on board the top of the ship or any kind. So they do have you have noticed they have a short supply of like some short swords and some short bows and a few crossbows up front, you know, just in case they have to fight something.
Is there a crow's nest?
There is a crow's nest, actually.
I'm gonna go hang out with whoever's up there,
yeah.
or just sit up there by myself.
Yeah, there's someone up there right now. It's a little awkward, but you can probably perch in a way that makes it less awkward because the guys, it's like one person crow's nest because it's a 2-mast ship. It's not a particularly huge ship.
The guy's just probably like, what the hell is going on?
This is probably not the first time this has happened, so he's probably
No.
like,
It for
well,
sure isn't.
well, hello again.
Hello, my friend. Have you been good?
Yeah, I've been fine.
Come on, Gate.
So, Karn, where were you hanging out? Were you just staying in the area?
I'm gonna kind of roam the ship a little bit, see if I can find where they went.
Okay, you'll start to roam, and you'll run into him coming up towards the deck then. Excuse me, I gotta talk to the captain.
I'll give way.
Mhm.
And then follow.
Okay.
Not like nonchalantly. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
be like,
He kind of runs into the captain's quarters along with that one sailor. There seems to be something going on in there that they're talking very heatedly.
I'm gonna hang out near the area and see if I can pick up anything.
Sure. Crawl, you don't see anything on the horizon. It looks pretty clear. You can't really pick up a lot of what's going on. It'll be like a little while. you'll then eventually kind of like the captain will like he'll kind of be listening, and you really can't hear a lot. They seem to be having some kind of conversation.
If I hear anyone coming to the door, I'm going to start wandering away.
Yeah. So so out will come Captain Undem Cloudbrow, who looks like he's like a quintessential ship captain / pirate almost, except he's aboard like this small merchant vessel. You know, it looks like he basically stepped out of a pirate movie kind of thing. You know. He's like got like the huge hat and stuff with the big feather, you know, like the overcoat and stuff. He has his weapon at the side, you know. He has a hand crossbow too, that he always seems to carry with him. You've rarely seen him outside of his quarters. He seems to like just give orders to the first mate most of the time and then plot, you know, the ship.
Yes.
He's going to like start giving an announcement to like gather together the crew for you are actually about a week and a half out on your journey by now when this occurs, okay? Out of like a 3-week journey, we'll say.
I'm going to try to be like towards the middle of the ship, just like looking out to sea.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, intensely listening.
He'll wait till everybody's assembled and then be like, men, passengers, I have bad news. We are unfortunately seem to... And he's going to shot like his look towards Hans, who's going to shoot his look towards that one sailor, to be running out of water. We should have had enough for this entire journey, plus some. But apparently we weren't filled up in docks, or there was a mistake. And we got empty barrels instead. We have a couple days worth. If we ration it, it might be enough for us to go straight to shore from here, but it's not certainly enough for us to go back the way we came. And even then, it'll be dangerous to go straight to shore from here. But I believe that's what we're going to have to do.
Great.
The halfling will actually kind of walks up and says, are there any other islands nearby or anything like that? The captain will be like, I am unfamiliar with any ones that would have water aboard them in this area. Unfortunately, most of these are passed by normal. Most people don't stop at them. Don't have this problem. So, if there's one, we would be chasing ghosts. Unless someone out there knows of one. Like,
I have no skill in that.
there's going to be a little bit of quiet, and then, Beardajadi, the kind of explorer guy's like, wait, I believe I know of one that might be of assistance to us. A small place, a series of 3 islands. They call it the Waveless Refuge. It'll be a little hard to get in the center of the island, but the outer shore is said to be impassable. But there are 3 passages, I believe, at high tide. Not even a ship of our size could be to sail into the lagoon. It is said to have green trees there, so there must be at least water, or the possibility of finding it. I believe it's only a day or two's journey from here, but unfortunately it's farther to the west. Yeah, opposite if we were going to go straight to safety. I, for one, would be willing to face this danger. Perhaps we should, if your captain should allow us to vote upon it. What do all you say?
I would love a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up for some exploration.
Kraw's completely lost in thought about how he could try to purify seawater.
It's like, purify seawater on a boat. With probably a very simple stove, not meant to, like, really have a lot of fire, just in case of, you know, because the ship's wood.
We're on a boat. We're on a boat.
You are indeed on a boat. Okay. There does seem to be sort of a kind of breakdown through the crew, but it looks like you three, well, the two of you at least, seem to form enough of a majority to vote for heading for this island. So the crew begins to effectively ration water, because again, you don't know how successful you're going to be when getting there.
Yes.
And rationing water, you have about 5 days of it at most. It will be 2 days, and unfortunately, these 2 days will be very hot. Seemingly extra hot, as if like a heat spell came in just when you thought you needed water. Bam! The sun just burns everything.
I'm
right
going to offer my services of, like, ray of frosting things to help people stay cool.
You like Ray of Frost,
frosty
like, you know,
mugs.
like headbands, and have them put them on their heads to cool them
Yep,
down.
basically.
Yes.
Oh, did we get the contract signed?
Yes, you got the contract signed. Totally.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Well,
also,
at least
I
two
was...
of us are investors.
Yes. Also, I was going to charm person him right before the signing of the contract, so when you read it over, it was slightly favorable towards us.
Okay. Let me
So, like, we get, you know, like...
Like a higher percentage of the business.
Yeah, like, you know, like 40% or something.
I've rolled a die. I think he made whatever save he needs to roll.
Probably.
Yeah. You'll get a investment in the business, we'll say. We're not sure how much he has of yet, because it'll depend on how successful his business comes to. But Meg is going to be incredibly ecstatic and pleased with his new investment partners.
And possibly new thing to ship.
Yes. If you can only find out where they grow. Where indeed.
Well, we
Is
have
that-
plenty of seeds.
Is that going to be like the next one shot, the quest for the pomegranate?
Yes.
Or
Alright.
just start farming pomegranates with the seeds we have.
Anyway, so 2 days journey will burn by, and eventually you will make it to. You will see what looks to be land out in the distance, and as you approach, you will find yourself coming to the Waveless Refuge. And now the Waveless Refuge seems to be 3 islands that look to be circular almost, with this massive caldera in the middle. The North Island is this kind of horrible rocky bluff that seems almost inhospitable. The eastern area is sort of like hillis, a little mounty, but it's got like all kinds of grass and tiny trees on top of it. And the largest area, the western isle, is this massive jungle and like tropical area.
I would suggest searching there.
Yes. Jody can actually identify the 3 islands. The northern islands is known as the Abyss. It is a place that is... He'll have like a book out actually and be seemingly like reading about it. It appears to be a place occupied by birds, treacherous cliffs, slick, dangerous. The East Island is the open island, known for occasional tortoises, and some murky waters. And the Western Isle is known as the Heavenly Isle. I'm assuming since it's so nice, they named it because it's the opposite of the Abyss, perhaps?
Seems appropriate.
I like the Northern Island.
He kind of like raised an eyebrow at you and it's like, indeed.
I say Western.
After a little while, you can see, like, there does seem to be, like, a water passage, and your ship sort of has to wait a little while for high tide to come in, and then they can sail right into the center of the area, which seems to be a massive, kind of lake area, and what little wind basically propels you to an area near the western shore where you will put anchor. It is slow going within there, as much as it's called. There are no waves within the center of the caldera. in this big, large, seemingly very deep lagoon in some places. The center of it seems incredibly deep, far beyond your vision. While you get close to the shore, it almost has that crystal clear that you can kind of see down a little bit into it occasionally, and see kind of deeper. The 2 rowboats will be lowered, and it looks like the crew is preparing to disembark. The captain is actually going to come up to the 3 of you. From the Explorer folks' journal, there may be dangerous creatures aboard this island. The 3 of you, I heard you helped out my friend, the mayor. Perhaps you can go and look for a source of water. My crew is not seasoned for battle. There appears to be some fruit trees near the shore here, perhaps some fishing. I could set them up to gather food and supplies that way, that we don't have to worry about. If you can find us water and maybe secure a path to it, we can then send some people in and know it's safe. You don't have to do this, but it would be of great help.
Well,
Water
it's going to
for
help
you,
all of
water
us.
for us.
Thank you. So I guess the 3 of you will get in one of the rowboats, and it'll be taken nicely to shore. It's going to be kind of... What, do you want to say something?
I was gonna fly.
Oh, okay, you
I
can
need
fly.
to take out the spot.
Okay, you'll fly over. A number of sailors are setting up with nets and stuff. You don't see any sign of any kind of, like, rivers or streams coming into here. There's, like, a little bit of shore here, and then it kind of has this kind of almost, like, dirt/slightly rocky lip that kind of leads up. There's a couple of places where it looks like maybe during like storms or stuff is washed down and created areas where you can walk up into the jungle. But it kind of makes this very short beach, and it's very shaded here actually on shore, because the jungle is almost up to the water without here, you know. And it seems like the only reason that's probably not like eroding everything away is there is no waves. It seems to sort of like, it almost seems like it just gently rises and falls in here, as if the waves hit those things and then just disappear into the caldera.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
You're not detecting anything magical right away.
Okay.
There doesn't seem to be anything directly magical.
Perhaps the deepness of this lake is causing the waves to be stifled before they can get larger. Like my character's just like thinking out loud, not specifically
Yes.
directed towards anyone.
I kind of just shrug like, okay.
Well, I guess we should get started.
Indeed.
Also,
Alright.
that would have been cast ritually because why not?
Yes, it'll take some time to do it. All right, so you will be able to easily head up into the jungle. It is probably not the densest jungle it could be. I mean, it has plenty of light underbrush. You can easily move through it. The trees you estimate are maybe like closer to the shore, maybe like 20, 30 feet high. It does seem to get larger as you go deeper into the jungle itself. There are all kinds of vines cutting down. You do hear like small birds, various noises coming from here.
I'll take point and I'll have my great axe out to help clear the way.
So you're going to sort of bushwhack with a great axe?
Yes.
Are you guys going to head in any particular direction?
Up.
Up. Okay.
Well, you say there's an area that seems to be like it might be cleared by rainwater.
Well, it's like less that it's cleared by rainwater, and probably when a lot of rain comes down, it's like a washout area where you can walk up easily into the jungle from. Because there's like the small beach, and then that kind of dirty, rocky cliff in most areas that sort of is on the inner side here.
Okay. Well, my thought is just perhaps we should travel up the area where water has come from, because there may be another area that may have caught the water up higher.
Okay.
I meant fly up.
You could easily fly to the top. You could easily fly up to like the top of the trees and take a look around.
I'm pretty much looking for any sort of break in the trees where there could be a line of water or a pool or something like that.
Give me perception.
Alright. No.
The trees look
You're
pretty...
looking at a leaf.
Yeah, well, the trees look pretty continuous out there. There does seem to be a little bit of contour to them. You're guessing maybe like there's little rises and hills. Though you can't see any kind of breaks or anything. I mean, roll me a knowledge, nature then too. Intelligence, nature. Okay, you're like, I don't know. There's some trees here. They're really nice trees.
I get distracted by a grub.
Yes. It's a really big grub. It's like the size of a human's thumb.
Grab it, bring it down.
Mhm.
Look what I found.
That's nice. Pat, pat, pat. I guess follow where, like you said, where the water seems to rush down. Maybe something caught it up there.
Make me a survival check. Where we're trying to track this.
Does anyone have survival?
No, but I can try.
I have 2. But we both...
I
don't know how that
survived.
was going.
Cool.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. You got it.
Karn kind of like takes a look at where the wash is, and then he kind of like clears some of like the brush and stuff away, like the old dead leaves and things. You know, well, there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of like litter down here because you know it is more jungly. It's much better at recycling a lot of that stuff. You know.
Right.
But you do kind of find like signs which you think are where washouts have occurred. You know, like sort of like almost a trail through the jungle, and you begin to follow it. It kind of winds you through the jungle for quite some time. It's maybe like an hour or two trying to follow this path, which seemingly sometimes bends and twists. That happened. Bends and twists with the like weird contours of the land, so it makes it a little more difficult to follow. And eventually, though, you will come across. You will hear something out in the distance, and you all will eventually be able to hear it as you're following this kind of trickling noise. And you will be able to come across a small stream. Now, this isn't a huge stream. It's best described as a creek, if anything, with a couple of shallow pools here and there. You do see a few small fish and things within it. But it seems to be flowing, and it seems to be gumming, and kind of like you see like little like breakdowns where there's like little like waterfalls here and there, and then it will go off for a while and coalesce in little pools, and then trickle down to like a small amount going through an area, and continue to kind of go through this kind of winding through the jungle.
We will follow the creek and probably fill up our water jugs.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll fill up the water skids in the creek.
Yes.
Okay. It'll be about another good amount of time before you will kind of move into what appears to be a larger stream. You're not quite sure how far you've gone, but you can definitely see that there's a stream kind of cutting through here. This one definitely you could probably fill up things like maybe a couple of barrels very easily through. It looks like maybe a couple of smaller streams throughout here are joining up here. And you're at one of the intersections.
Do we want to continue, or should we go back and let them know about this? It seems safe so far.
It does. Perhaps we should.
I can
maybe
make some
able to
markings on the trees as we go back.
Yes, I think it'll be good to let them know now where this is, but perhaps we can explore farther after they have gathered a little bit of water.
Agreed.
Okay.
So I'll start making markings as we walk back with my axe on the trees.
Okay.
Tantus, you can GR roll so that we don't
Oh, you
see when you're plotting things.
I could just be rolling random dice for all you know.
Plot, 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 says the DM.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of like mark the area.
Yeah.
I'll mark the trail that we take, so
Okay.
so people can follow the tree markings back.
Okay, it'll take you a little longer to mark the trail. You know, you're about 3 hours out. It might take you think like 4 or 5 to keep the trail marked then back. So it's probably going to be nighttime when you return if you're going to try to keep with
Right.
the trail.
That's fine.
Okay,
We don't want people losing their way.
that's very true. So you'll start marking a trail and kind of, I guess, bushwhacking a trail out of the trail you took.
Yes.
Now you have an idea about it. And let me just roll a couple of things here. Okay, let me take a look at a couple of things here.
Death from above!
There's the possibility of it.
Coconut crabs, attack everyone.
Okay, let's do that. Okay. Alright.
And that's how much damage we take, right? No.
No,
No.
that was an attack roll on all of us. It fails.
Okay, so... Alright, Karn, bursting out of the jungle, knocking into you with a massive swipe, is a large cat. It will do you 5 damage, and give me a strength save.
Humanoid cat or
Cat.
just cat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, you kind of like, you feel yourself being pushed back a number of feet as it sort of like claws into your like probably to your chest, because you're pretty large for it, so it can't quite get up to your shoulders, but it kind of creaks into your chest, and it tries to like put all its weight into you to try to like knock you down, but you manage to resist it.
Initiative?
Yes, initiative. Alright.
I
So,
rolled well.
yes, you did. And let's see here. Okay. So, Craw, you're up first.
Is there only one cat?
Yeah, it's like it's a jaguar. A jaguar
Oh.
just pounced on Joe.
On card.
On Karn.
Well, I'm gonna punch it.
All right. Let me just check it. Yes, you'll successfully punch the cat.
4 damage.
Okay. All right. The cat will, of course.
Hold on. Bonus punch.
Oh, but that's right. You get a bonus punch,
Yeah.
and you will bonus punch it
Or another 6.
Okay. You'll like smack into the cat and then smack into it again. It'll be pretty confused by that entire thing. And I guess it will turn its attention to you then with a claw. It's definitely gonna claw you for a total of 5 damage. As it kind of like then claws at the bird. It's like, "Rawr!"
Huh?
A bird just like attacked it. It is like, it's
Not
not
used to that.
It's not used to that.
I just want to acknowledge, Tiv, I love your punches.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah, those were great.
And
Yeah.
why is it always cats? Yes.
It's always cats. All right. So, I guess, who would be next? Wolfberg
have-
and Karn, you both have +1 initiative.
Yeah,
So,
off.
hey, sure. Roll it off and we'll see who goes first.
Beat on Mighty 7.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my
Second
god.
one.
We'll never determine who goes first. They'll be eternally locked in initiative.
Ah!
Oh god. Okay,
Okay,
Karn.
there we go.
Okay, that would have been terrible. Third charm would be just like, wow. Okay, Karn. A cat just attacked you, and then it got punched by Crawl, so it like turned its attention towards the bird, which actually probably is a lot tastier. We're just assuming since you were bushwhacking, you were leading the way, and basically it hit the front character.
I don't have as much meat on me though.
No, but there's something about you that just makes it want to attack you. Also, I guess.
Can I get
Instinct.
into flanking position?
I'm not going to use the optional flanking position, but you could use it.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
You could, but it's optional if I wanted to do that. I'm not going to bother. But you'll hit it anyway. Wow. You sink your axe into its like side. You kind of like sidestep a little bit since it kind of moved out of your way, getting this huge gash across. It kind of like limps over a little bit, but it looks to still be standing, but like really messed up after that.
Bad kitty.
Wolfburn?
His name is Wolfburn. It's not what he's used to.
I'm just like, You know, I'm just gonna chromatic orbit.
Okay.
Oh God.
Well, that'll happen.
Damage.
And let's see, what damage type do I want? Let's go with. Why not? Fire.
What's the save on that?
It's a it's a ranged spell attack.
Oh, it's just a ranged spell attack? Oh, sorry.
You got a 12.
So it's
Oh, you got a 12 to hit
So-
it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A 12 will indeed hit it, though. Okay, so do damage.
No, that's the damage.
is that damage? Oh wait,
That is
what's
damage.
Oh,
Oh.
this thing isn't. Oh,
The chromatic
I'll
orb
fix
is
it.
one of the spells not in the D20, so I
Yeah,
have to.
I input it myself and I forgot to do the damage. So let's see.
It's
just-
fine. I just have to actually physically look it up. It is a range.
So I should add the +4, but yeah, so I got a 10.
To hit.
Yeah.
That will not hit though. Okay.
Okay.
So it is a
Yeah, let me
ranged
fix
spell
that.
attack. That we have to remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yep.
top of the order is Craw.
Let me fix this.
A couple more punches going annoy the cat. 11 probably doesn't hit.
No.
Uh-oh.
15
Kitty time.
though.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
7 more.
That it will drop. So you kind of punch the cat in its jaw as it kind of was clawing at you. As you hear this cracking, and it's just like.
I'm gonna pick up the cat
Okay.
and take it with us.
All right, you've got dead jaguar.
Maybe we can make some jaguar jerky.
Mm-hmm.
Cat tried to make meal of me. I see no problem making meal of it.
Cat.
The other white meat.
All right. You will eventually though make it back to shore, and it will be night will be falling. The sun will kind of be going down, and you will see none of the dinghies at the shore.
Well, that's not good.
You do see your ship still docked and the light, but you also don't see any lights aboard. It seems kind of odd because it's still a little light out, but you'd think someone would have lit
Waited
something.
for us.
Yeah.
Left a dinghy behind at least?
Yeah.
Do you think I should signal them?
Yes. I think that would be a good idea, but I'm worried there's no lights on board.
If you make signal, it attract a lot of attention from things we do not want. I am
Yes.
of darker feather. I can fly over there and check
Hmm.
quietly.
Okay. You're gonna fly over?
I'm
Oh.
just gonna say, how about this? I say, so we can know if you are alright. I pick up a rock, cast light on it, but cover it up real fast, and then I just slip it into your bag. Use that to signal us if things are okay, and if not, come
Why
back
not?
without showing light.
Or 1 blink for yes, 2 blinks for no? Still come
That
back, but at least we
that works,
know
too.
what's going on as well.
If I'm able to come back, I will. And
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna try sneakily fly over there because this is
All right.
this
Yeah.
is fun.
Go ahead. Roll that. You're pretty stealthy. I mean, you still make a flapping, but you're trying to go nice and slow and like keep your flapping to a minimum kind of thing.
I'd probably flap up high near us and then glide as much as possible.
Okay, yeah.
So that I don't flap near the boat.
Yes. So you kind of glide down, and you'll reach the crow's nest, I guess. You'll go up high enough. You don't see anybody on deck. You see nobody doing any kind of work there. You see no sign of either of the dinghies at the ship either. But it is now getting very dark. So it's like your vision's not as good because you can't. Can you have dark vision?
No.
I couldn't remember. Yeah, so yeah, maybe your vision's not as helpful now, but you don't really see them just with... I mean, roll me a perception just to see if you can notice anything special.
Oh, you also have a light now if you wanna.
Yes. Yeah. Nope. You're not catching anything. You're focusing pretty well. So it's like you're fairly confident you don't see any sign of the dinghies, but it is again getting pretty dark, and you are like up higher right now.
We have been traveling with them for over a week. Would they be up at this point, like making noise?
There's usually at least some person on crew at any time. You know, there's a couple of people that usually are like sleep during the day, so that they have like a skeleton crew at night to keep the ship going.
But there's no sign of them.
No.
Anywhere.
Nope.
Well, that is sketchy as fuck. I'm flying back.
Okay.
While we're waiting for him, I'm going to take the time to gather some wood in case we have to camp here.
Okay. You'll be able to find a couple of small things.
And some rocks to put around the fire.
Sure. You can find a small area, like, at the beach edge, which you probably can, like, do. It's not going to be comfy for sleeping, though, because, like, you can keep the fire out of where the high tide comes to, which it probably will again overnight, but...
So it's probably going to be on the rocks.
It's going to be...
In case I'm ambushed while everyone else is away, I'm casting mage armor.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming you're staying with me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was thinking I was going to watch for him.
You're just going to watch for him?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, too.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you defensed up. There doesn't look to be, like... I mean, you could try to maybe, like, sleep in the jungle, but there's not, like, a really good place to lay down in this area. Not open area, unfortunately.
How big are the trees?
20 to 30 foot in this area?
So not very tall.
No. It kind of goes to, like, that short beach, like that cliff kind of thing, most of this area, and then the trees are up on top there. And you're basically... The area you can set up is in that wash area that's sort of broken down part of the, the cliff, so you can walk up it. That's where you're setting up. It's the most open area, and you could probably sort of sleep on that, though you'd be at this, like, weird angle, and it's probably going to be uncomfortable. That's probably the most open area to be in. But it's not flat.
I'm also, while I'm waiting, going to ritually cast Detect Magic again.
Okay. You're not going to detect any magic. Eventually Crawl will come back to you guys.
I'm just gonna land by them.
You'll probably come back around the same time that Karn is coming back with some stuff from the jungle. With some wood.
I flew over there and there was no noise. The dinghies were not there, and the skeleton crew was not active. It seems completely abandoned.
I have not detected any magic, at least not from here.
But you will know, yeah, your detect magic doesn't have a necessary range. You wouldn't have detected the ship from here if there's, like, lingering...
I know. I know I would
yeah.
reach the ship, but just in case there's something magical around.
Yeah. No, there doesn't seem to be anything in particular around the shore here.
Out of character, that lagoon is sketchy as fuck, because I'm just thinking of, like, Sawagan or whatever, however you say, I'm just coming up, breaking everyone down.
Well, I did gather some supplies in case we had to camp here tonight.
That is good.
It may be better to camp from a more defensible position, maybe up on the cliff rather than down here below.
At that point in time, you'd probably be in amongst the trees. It would be hard. You could probably set up a fire, but it would probably take a little bit of time. You'll be going into the dark, though, if you're working then.
If we set up... Oh, God.
The water seems to be dangerous, though, because we know that we left people on the ship. I'd rather
and on the shore.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
We have the markings that can help lead us back to where we were, and the stream should give us protection from setting the forest alight.
But it might be better to stick around the water for if we see signs of what maybe happened to the crew.
Agreed. And maybe if we're sticking to the cliffside, whoever's watching should maybe hide in a tree to get the best vantage. I'm assuming we'd be taking turns.
Of course.
All right. You'll spend a little time setting up an area in the jungle itself, like basically making a small clearing yourselves without, because you don't really have the time, to cut down a tree or something. So you find like a nice area that's a little flatter in between two trees. You can clear out some bushes in, and then like have a nice area to set up a fire
And roast a cat leg.
Yeah, you can probably lean against the trees. If you keep the fire going, it might keep away a bunch of the bugs. But otherwise, it's going to be sleeping in the bugs in the jungle. At least it's near the water, so it's a little not as bad as deep in the jungle. Is the other person going to just stay watch at the fire or actually climb up in the tree?
I think it would be best to climb up in a tree.
Yeah, climbing up in a tree, at least a little bit up, just to
Yeah.
keep, just so the, in my mind, just so the person who's keeping watch is slightly out of sight.
That's fine. Just Wolfburn, Karn, give me just a loose. Let's forget there's a strength climbing skill. I think it's just a athletics. That's right. Just give me an idea how. Yeah, okay. Yeah, both of you will be fine getting up on a tree in good position, up and down it. So, okay. The night will pass just fine then. And it will be a fine night. And, since I want to keep a break at every hour, why don't we take a quick break as you're enjoying the night, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes, around 4, to continue the adventure. So, how about that? So,
All right.
Yep, let me just do that, and we'll be right back, folks. Bye-bye.